It can be any data type, but that data type has to be immutable. For key, I could write a tuple, for example, a, then open the square brackets and write the key. This key will be equal to the first element that function.items return, a.get, and then if the key is not found, I want to return something. Hello coders, welcome to my channel. I am David, your guide to mastering programming. Imagine you have a massive list of usernames and their corresponding scores. Searching for a specific user in a list would be slow and frustrating. But if I told you there is a way to instantly access any user score in a fraction of a second, that's exactly what Python dictionaries allow you to do. In this video, I'll break down how dictionaries work, how to access their data effectively, and the powerful functions that make them so useful. Let's dive in. A dictionary is a data structure that stores key-value pairs where each unique key is used to access its associated value. I'll write you an example so you can understand what I mean. For example, I create dictionary A. To create a dictionary, you need to open the curly brackets and inside write, for example, 1, and it should have value 1. For example, 2 has value 2. Now, when I print this, A, as you can see, it prints 1, 1, 2, and 2. Also, the key here doesn't have to be string. It can be any data type, but that data type has to be immutable, while value can be of any type. For example, I can have something like this, B, dictionary B, and now for key, I could write a tuple, for example, 1, 2, and the value can be a list of elements, for example, 2, 5, 1. And now when I print B, as you can see, it works perfectly fine. Dictionaries support indexing, but in a different way to what you're used to. You need to write the key inside the square brackets, and the matching value will be found. For example, if I want to access these two, I need to write print A, then open the square brackets and write the key, which is in this case 2, inside. For example, 2. Now I expect to see here a number 2. I'll comment this. As you can see, 2 is printed. Traversing a dictionary is also different than what you are used to. Since we store two values, one is a key and one is a value, you need to tell Python which one you want. Is it a key or a value, or is it both? To get all the elements, we need to use the function items. So for example, when I write for I in A items, this function returns two values, where first value, items, where first value is the value of key and the second value is the value that key is matching. So if I want to get the first value and the second, I can here write something like this, key and then value. This key will be equal to the first element that function.items return, and the value will be equal to the second element, or I mean the value that .items function returns. So now here I can print f. This is an f string. I talked about that in my previous videos. If you haven't checked the video, the link to it is in the description below or in the upper right corner now. Here I'll write key equal and then key space. Now value equal value. Now I expect to see 1, 1, 2, 2. As you can see, key is 1, value is 1, key is 2, and value is 2. This piece of code is called unpacking collection. I'll dedicate a special video on that, but in some later videos. For now, you just need to know that when I write something like this, this first element will get the first element that a function returns, and this second variable will get the second element that function returns. And that's it. Also, as I mentioned before, I could get just the keys, I mean, I don't have to get both of them at the same time. So, for example, for key in a dot keys, print key. Now, as you can see, 1 and 2 are printed, which are the keys. Also, I can get just the values. Value in a dot values. Now, when I print value, I'll get just the values 1 and 2. As you can see, 1 and 2 is printed. Some useful functions with dictionaries are, for example, the get function. Sometimes maybe I want to get this 2. For example, I could write print a.2, and as you can see, 2 is being printed. But what if I want to get 3, but 3 is not present here in my dictionary? For example, what happens if I write here 3? As you can see, the error is being printed. In that case, we can use something that's more safe and that will remove this mistake if it happens. So, for example, I could write a.get. Now the item, I mean the key that I want to get, for example, 3. And then I want, if the key is not found, I want to return something. That's this second parameter here. For example, value not found. Now, when I run this, as you can see, value not found is printed. But if I write here, for example, 1, 1 exists, so the 1 will be printed. As you can see, 1 is being printed. Another useful function is if I want to pop something, to remove some key. For example, I could print a.pop. This will remove the element and also return it. For example, I want to remove the element 2. And now also this second parameter is the return value if I don't find this parameter for this key here too. So when I value doesn't exist. As you can see, it prints 2, but that means that the 2 exists. But if I wrote here, for example, 3, as you can see, value doesn't exist is being printed. Also, maybe I want to merge some dictionaries. I want to merge B and A. I could write print, then a dot update, and put here the dictionary that I want to merge with. For example, I want to add on top of this A, I want to add the dictionary B. Now, as you can see, oh no, this function doesn't return anything, so I can write print A. Now I expect to see these two merged, where the first elements will be these and the other elements will be these. As you can see, this is how it works. Also, maybe I want to free this dictionary. To do that, I can write b.clear. Now when I print b, as you can see, it prints just empty curly brackets, which means the dictionary is empty. Also, maybe you created some list, for example, L, with values, with keys 2, 3, and 4. And now you want to create a dictionary from these values. For example, I can then write, for example, I could write new, then that will be equal to dictionary dot from keys. Then the first parameter are the keys from which I want to create the values. I mean the keys in my dictionary, which is in this case L. And the second parameter is the standard value that all these keys will have. For example, 0. Now when I print new, I expect to see 2, 3, and 4, and they all to have a value 0. As you can see, 2 has a value of 0, 3 has value 0, 4 also has a value 0. I hope you found this video helpful. Like and subscribe for more coding content. See you in my next video. Until then, keep coding.